What's up, what's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another edition of White Men Can't Dumb, the smartest show on the internet. I am joined with my co-host, my partner in crime, and today, what did you name your character? I completely forgot, but my brother in Elden Ring.
Oh, it's Dingus.
Soapy Muffin. That's it, Dingus. Dingus Pengus. Soapy, how you doing today?
It's not Dingus, but it's just Dingus.
Well,
I'm doing good.
So,
It's just Dingus.
You know how this show's going to start.
Dingus don't need no pingus.
Dingus don't need no pingus, no tingus either. You guys know how this show is going to start. Soapy does too. So before I ask you, Soapy, make sure to join the Discord. That link is down below in the description. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids. How you go ahead and do that. And then hit that sub button, that like button, and that notification button to stay in tune with what's going on here at MVP Entertainment. But Soapy, I went through the housekeeping very quickly. We are not doing some pre-show banter. Yes, the topic of this show is different than what I'm going to ask you here to start, but it needs to be. I was at work all day. I have not been able to play it yet. I will not be able to play it till probably tomorrow because we have D&D immediately after this show. Early thoughts on Elden Ring. Give us the official MVP first reaction review right here on the show.
It is fucking fantastic. It's lived up to the hype. And they also lied about the game being easier. That was a fucking dog shit lie.
It's harder.
Well, I think it's more of the fact of, like, it follows more with Bloodborne's gameplay than Dark Souls itself.
Bloodborne came before Dark Souls, right?
No, Bloodborne's way after.
Okay.
So, basically, I'm sitting here learning a new system, like, while trying to act like it's fucking Dark Souls. Yeah, it's been really good so far. I've heavily enjoyed it. I've also been listening to the JD complain about how he keeps dying because he stinks at the game.
I mean, hey, it's like I told you. I sent the picture to the MVP Discord of, do you hear that? Shh, can you hear it? It's the sound of get good, kid. Get good.
Yeah, it's like, just fucking get good at the game. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just play the fucking game. Like, the game shouldn't have to hold your hand.
But Soapy, games are supposed to have tutorials and hug me in the middle.
They teach you the basics of the
They're
game.
supposed to hold my hand and give me a warm hug in the middle. Like, oh, you're doing a good job, champ. Keep going. You're almost there.
Oh, that's a damn shame you ain't getting that with Elden Ring. What you get with Elden Ring is Elden Ring just tells you to eat a dick and die.
Yeah. So roughly how far do you think you... Oh, I should say this. How many hours have you pumped into it today?
So for today, I put about an hour and a half.
Let me look at my log.
First launch. Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. I put an hour and a half when it first came out, because that's when I made Dingus at like midnight.
Yeah.
I then... I'm trying to think here. I think I have about 7 hours into it, I think.
You put in a full workday. You've put in a full workday on Elden Ring.
We should have called off work for it. I hope I could put in a workday for it.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I wanted to join you guys in that, but I have already made a decision that MLB The Show is my takeoff workday.
Man, you judged us for taking it off.
I didn't judge you. I respect you.
No, you were like, I'm a responsible adult.
Oh, you know me. I just love giving JD
those
shit.
The exact words I heard when you joined in.
When JD's like, "Oh man, it was a tough day." Oh, sorry, JD. Sorry, some of us had to be adults and go to work. Oh man, I'm actually I will say I'm actually happy I went to work because it was an easy day. So, but how much longer of the game do you think you have left? Because JD was saying he feels like it's going to be a 8-day game.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how long it's going to take me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been stuck in the same boss for a while now. So for a while I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm going to go just do other shit in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I think it'll probably take me about 30 hours or so.
Okay.
Depending on if I get stuck on another boss after this one.
Good point.
Oh, I mean, knowing my luck, I will.
Yeah.
Like, most of the bosses have been, like, really fair and, like, they're not hard. The very
Uh huh.
first boss is fucking easy. That was the easiest boss I've ever faced in one of these games.
I mean, you got to make the first one easy. That false sense of hope. They lure you in. They go,
Yeah,
this
unless
game's
it's
not
Dark
that
Souls
bad.
3. Dark Souls 3 just fucking kicks you in the dick the
This
second you
game's
start the game. They're
not
like, yeah, here
so
you go.
bad. What are they talking about? Get good, kid. I'm already good. GUD.
Yeah, it's basically, Dark Souls 1, they're like, okay, a Silent Demon. Kind of easy, kind of hard. Dark
Yeah.
Souls 2, I don't remember the first one. I think it's like the last giant.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Dark Souls 3 kicks you in the dick and stomps in your fucking head with Gundyr.
Oh.
And then this one, they're just like, hey, here's a regular mob that we're just going to say is a boss.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, thanks.
So, Soapy, moving on. Elden Ring will be something, when I play it, I'm going to record my footage so that people can see me in my first ever voyage into, I call it a Dark Souls game, but it's not. Like, it is, but it isn't. Into that kind of a game, or I should say that version of a video game. But we got to start the show proper, and instead of movie, instead of gaming, instead of TV, we are dipping our toes back into the wrestling world, as yesterday a piece of information came out, Soapy, that you actually told me about. You were like, hey, guess who's no longer with WWE? And you made me guess it, and I was wrong with who it was. Oh no, that was the debut of AEW. You just flat out told me who wasn't with WWE anymore. Bless you. And that is Cesaro. Cesaro is no longer with the company. Fightful Select reports that the reaction from those in the company was disappointment and dismay because Cesaro is well liked. WWE did offer him a new contract, but he turned it down. There's also news that the offer to keep Cesaro was way less than what they've offered others to stay, and that also Cesaro has expressed unhappiness in WWE. Vince McMahon was never going to give him a big push. Soapy, just to start, what are your thoughts on Cesaro leaving WWE, and how big of a hurt is this for the company? Because it's a hurt. It doesn't affect Cesaro. This is more of a hurt for WWE. Cesaro will be fine.
Yeah. It's. I think it's a. I don't think it's really going to hurt the company, to be honest.
You don't think so?
Like I said, they never had any plans to do anything major with them, so it's not like they lost a major player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, for instance, for me, I've always loved Cesaro, and he's always been a person that I wish had a better opportunity in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, Vince does have the point though of, like, like, he's not charismatic. He's not a person that, like, when he talks, he captivates a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's basically he's talking to a crowd. He's not talking, like, through a crowd, or like he's not drawing the attention of a crowd. It's just like, I'm here. It's not like how when you see other people talk, it's like, oh, like, okay, like, this is interesting. Cesaro talks, it's like, oh fuck, just shut up.
So Vince McMahon just hit him with the, "You're nothing more than a B+ player."
I mean, he basically hit him with a C+ player. So
Good point. Good point. You're right. You're right. Daniel Bryan could talk through a crowd, not at a crowd.
yeah. So it's just like, that's the thing. It's just, like I said, I don't think it's a super major loss. I don't think it's like a holy shit, like, burn everything down, like the company's going down sort of situation. It's like, oh, it sucks. Can't wait to see what he does post WWE though.
I mean, to me, I kind of agree with you after hearing you say that. Like, it sucks that WWE loses another, like, good worker. Like, you're right. Cesaro's not on the Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold, Rock levels. He's obviously, like, his best work in my opinion, was when they put him with Sheamus and had the bar, like, as a tag team. But even, like, I liked him as a mid-carder and was like, okay, when's he going to get some type of a push? And, like, I wonder if AEW is on the horizon for him, but, like, I don't know. Like, I wonder which way Cesaro's going to go. Is it going to be I have to get back in a ring, I'm going to go to, like, an AEW or an outside promotion? Or does he say, hey, you know what? I don't really need to wrestle. I'm going to take some time and just do some up, down, down stuff and kind of go into kind of that area with Woods and stuff.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go and wrestle somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else. Especially like if he wasn't happy with not getting a push, I think it's the
Yeah.
fact that he still feels like he has a lot left in the tank to give.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, and even at that, we already know he was like one of the workhorses in the
Mm-hmm.
company. So
Do you think he gets a major push? Well, I shouldn't say major, but does he get a significant push if he goes to AEW?
I mean, every fucking WWE guy gets a push there. So
I just I don't everyone's gonna say, "Oh my God, he's all elite," or the Cesaro to AEW confirmed. But I look at it and I go, he's not gonna challenge. Like if right now they're doing Hangman and Cole, which we're all assuming Cole's gonna take the title off of Hangman. Um, he's not gonna challenge for the AEW World Title. I feel like right now they're setting up Keith Lee to be the next contender. Like right now, it's Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara. It's like cool. We could throw Darby Allin in there and have Sammy have a contender that is at his level. But let's be honest, Keith Lee will probably win the ladder match at Revolution and become the number one contender for the TNT Championship. It would feel weird to then sign a Cesaro and throw him into that. Or this is like a down the line thing, and it's like, oh, after that's all done, then we bring in Cesaro and he becomes a contender for our mid card belt.
yeah, see, I don't know. I just don't want him to go to AEW.
Where else would he go? Like I know that there's others
Impact.
out there.
He can go to Impact. He could go overseas to New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just I'm so tired of everyone going to AEW, and I know some people are gonna be like, "Buddy would do good there." Cool, congrats. Until they get bored and they don't know what to do with him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to Dark,
Yeah.
just like Andrade.
Yeah.
Like that's just my whole thing of where it's like, I want him to go somewhere else. He's probably gonna go to AEW because he has a lot of friends there. Which if he does, cool. You know, I'm happy for him. I'm not gonna hold malice against him anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
But it's just I'm tired of seeing people go to AEW because it's like they have so many fucking people already. They can't find time for anybody.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I'm looking at their card for Revolution, and like I look at that Revolution ladder match, and in my mind, Soapy, to me there's only two guys that win it. Like I know Orange Cassidy might be added. I believe he's got a match either tonight on Rampage or next week on Dynamite. Because it says him or Anthony Bowens. But like right now we have Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks. It's either Wardlow or Keith Lee, right? Or that's who it should be to win this and get the push to go against Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship.
I mean, hopefully, but God only knows at this point.
So he's like, I haven't. I don't have hope that people do the right thing or that these higher ups do the right thing with these wrestling companies.
No, it's just like I don't know. It's just they put like I don't know. It's just I'm not really interested in AEW's midcard right now.
Yeah, I mean it's better than the
Nothing
women's
against
division.
I mean, fucking a lot of things are better than the AEW women's division, but I mean it's getting better. It's getting better.
It is. You're right. It is getting better, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's just they need to sign more people. How to figure out like okay like this is the upper echelon. Here's these people. All right, here's the other ones.
Yeah.
Kind of figured that part out.
The other
Like, it was
go ahead. I'm cutting you off.
it's just I think the problem was adding a second belt to the women's division made it really weird. Because it's like you already kind of split a women's division that a lot of people were already really iffy on.
Mm-hmm.
Where now it's just like, okay. So like one person's going to have just worse challengers because you're going to throw all the better names at the person you want to build up.
Well, it goes to... It kind of like reminds me of... We've had this discussion before with just wrestling in general where... The problem with the TBS championship, which really it's like, really? You're just going to name it at, like, it makes sense, but like, now that I think both are on TBS, the TNT title is kind of like, well, really, NBA and NHL are taking TNT away from you. But the problem that championship creates is not only does it cut the women's division in half, it then makes it to where, okay, we have our one championship without a title. I can't make a story that's entertaining. I cannot give you a wrestling story without there being a title involved. And when you have a division that people are sour on, like, it's almost like a kind of feel for desperation of me. Like, no, guys, this is important. There's a title involved. Look, so, ooh, shiny blue piece of metal? Shiny metal with blue writing on it? You like that? You like that? Like, it's almost like, hey, can you try to entice me with a story that doesn't have a title, make me actually want to like the division, and then later on give me a title?
Yeah, I think it's, like, I think that is the big thing as well. It's also just, like, right now, like, it's in a weird state of where, like, there's notable women in there, like, obviously, Chris Statlander, Dr. Britt Baker, Jade Cargill, Anna Jay, and people like that.
Thunder Rosa.
Of where it's like, once you, yeah, like Thunder Rosa and people on those lines, but, like, once you get past them, it's just like, who else?
I would love to throw Ty Conti out there, but she's a mid-carder. Like,
yeah, to where, like,
my love for Ty Conti can't make her a main eventer.
Yeah, but it's like, it's the fact of where it's just, they're not, I don't want to say not featuring the women prominently enough, but it's like, you have such a big women's division, but you're not showing enough of them for us to care about any of them. Like, you're almost planning on, like, Stan Twitter taking over because of how someone looks. Like, if you're just encouraging someone to become a champ because they got a simp on their side, like, there's a problem here.
They almost need to try to, and it's very hard. I'm not saying this is the easiest thing in the world. They almost need to try to do what WWE did, where it was the 4 horsewomen in NXT. Because, like, that was really, to me, when women's wrestling went from, hey, we're just going to pull hair and have lingerie and panty matches, into, oh, the girl, not, we always knew the girls could do what the guys could do, but, like, not that, like, hey, we're just going to shock them with bra and panties, when it's like, no. We're going to actually have a women's division that is respected like our men's division is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's just more of, like, I think they just need to get rid of the second female title.
Yep, I agree.
Like, me, it's just,
how do you get rid of it, though, when you put it out there? You know what I'm saying?
You have a match between Jade Cargill and Dr. Britt Baker.
And you have Britt Baker
the belts. And they probably have Jade Cargill win.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's basically, you just do something like that, of where it's like, your women's division at this point is too, it's not strong enough to be able to hold up a mid-card. Where it's like, even some of the people you have for, like, your main eventers for women, some people don't want to see them in a main event. Because it's like, right now, you are still in the process of building up that division.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something of where, like, okay, like, with the men's division, like, right off the fucking rip, alright, here's the main eventers. Like, with the women's division, it was like, a lot of them are kind of, like, smaller names in the indies, or, like, they're over, you know, like, they're Joshi wrestlers, which, lo and behold, surprise, big shock, Joshi has not hit over here in America.
Yeah.
Joshi works overseas because it's been there for God only knows how long. But, like, that's just the thing of where it's, like, it's kind of, like, they've done a fine job, at least, of, like, constructing the roster. They're starting to get, like, to a point of where, like, okay, they're starting to build on it. But it's just the fact of, they gotta get to the point of where we're not just, like, throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks anymore.
Like, and the thing I'm looking at right now is I've got AEW's roster up. And, like, when I look at the women's roster, like, if I count it on my, yet again, some may say this is a good thing, some may say this is a bad thing. I'm counting on my hand right now how many of them were, like, because the men's division has Daniel Bryan, Jon Moxley, had Cody Rhodes. Like, it has names, Sting, Christian, like, names that people not even just like hardcore wrestling fans, but like that casuals could bring in CM Punk on that roster. It makes makes the non-title picture like. I know there's some people like I know you're one of them. I'm bored of CM Punk, but there's other people out there that are like, I will watch whatever CM Punk is doing because CM Punk, and I love chanting his name. There are people out there like that. I look at the women's division, and I know there's some that have been in WWE, but I'm talking about like recently have been in prominent roles. Mercedes Martinez, who was kind of in a prominent role on NXT, but was never a main eventer down there. And then Ruby Riott, who was a mid-carder and a tag team person for that women's division. So, I mean, of course, like, I'm not saying, like, AEW, go and get Charlotte. Oh, go and get Becky. But, like, do they need a couple more of the ex-WWE women to help bolster this? Like, for example, I threw out at you an Ember Moon because there's a wrestling promotion. I think it's like Warrior Wrestling or something. It's going to be here in Chicago, I think, like this weekend or next weekend. And a lot of the names, NXT people, or not NXT, AEW people, people who are, might be AEW people, like the Briscoe brothers, I think, are on that card. And then, oh, look at that, Thunder Rosa versus Athena, and Athena is Ember Moon. Like, do they need more ex-WWE people like they've gotten on the men's side?
Yeah, I think it's also just kind of give bigger named women as well, of where, like, so you don't have to throw someone like a Ty Conti, who the fans are still getting to know,
Yeah.
like, into, like, the deep end right away.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the main problems of, and obviously, like, right now, it's, like, a lot of the good female wrestlers, they're already scooped up into companies, but, like, you know, you've already shown that you can work with other companies to kind of work with them on things. Like, why not work with Impact on getting some of their female talent?
Yeah.
Like, not like signed under contract, but like working with them. Like, for instance,
Did-
you literally just had, I think it was Jordan Grace, I think is her name. I follow her on Twitter. You'd probably expect me I'd know her name if I follow her.
Did Ring of Honor have a huge?
No.
Okay. I was just because I never watched Ring of Honor, so I didn't know if Ring of Honor had like a prominent women's division.
Yeah, or at least to my knowledge, it didn't. It could have had one. I don't remember them having one.
Yeah.
But like, it's just working with other companies you already have, and like, and this is where I'm gonna sound bad when I say it. Don't do more Joshi. Quit. No one likes it. Like, you've had like one person work out from it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, a lot of your other fans are completely divided on it. Where, like, I think, for instance, like, Impact's let Mickie James go and do other shit. Let her show up on fucking AEW and do things. Like, it's also just as well of, I don't want to say, like, cut back on other people's minutes, but, like, the reason why why the women's division is so focused on titles is because that's the only people that get on fucking TV.
I'll tell you this. There are, and I'm looking at names of women who are out there. Last thing I'll say is there are 3 women. 3, like, there's more than that, but the top 3 women I think AEW should try to target if they're looking to bolster the women's division. Toni Storm, Tegan Knox, and I'm going to say one that's controversial, Soapy. Nia Jax. I think Nia Jax, although I hate her, and she is not a good wrestler, and she injures people, she could be someone, and you might say, well, Ricky, she could provide the same thing for the roster that like a Nyla Rose offers. Just the big, strong, tough woman. But like, I feel like her presence on a roster might juice it up a little bit. But obviously, like Toni Storm and I see Tegan Knox, I'm like, these are people. Hell, even a Kairi Sane. If Kairi Sane is going to come back to wrestling one day, like try to get these people that can put some life into your women's division, but also the main goal, bring some eyes onto it. Bring some eyes to it.
Yeah, and like even for instance, like I'm just kind of saying like a random thing of where it's
Go
like
ahead.
you already have her husband. Why not bring in Mia Yim? Why not bring in, obviously like you had said before, Ember Moon,
Mm-hmm.
Taya Valkyrie, Nixon Newell. I know she has.
If we're bringing in spouses, you got to bring Lana in, right? Lana and Mira.
Oh, oh, don't. Yeah, it's like that's the thing. It's just like they keep signing people that are to help the
Mhm.
men's division. It's like you guys already are loaded on that.
Yeah.
Stop.
I
Like you're
mean,
gonna get to the point to where like you're at WWE's level. You're already at that point of where we're not seeing half the fucking people you have signed. Because I'm
uh-huh.
sorry, I'm not watching Dark.
Hmm. So
Like I'm not gonna watch Dark and be like, oh my god, I want to see this guy on there. No.
let me ask this: would you count a? Oh, I had the name right here in front of me. Um, if Karrion Cross made his way to AEW, would you have Scarlett Bordeaux be a non wrestler like she was in WWE, or would you sign her to actively wrestle in the women's division?
Assign her to actively wrestle because they were getting ready to have her actually wrestle in the main roster
Okay.
for WWE, but that was when her breast implant exploded.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. I
But like,
totally forgotten about that.
yeah, it's also just though it's with the attire she wears when she wrestles.
Hmm.
They may kind of be tiptoeing a dangerous line there.
Dude, AEW is like old. Um,
Well, I mean, have you seen
it's
what
like
she
old
wears when she wrestles
WCW.
though?
Yes, I have. I have. But AEW is
Yeah,
a little
I
bit. It's
don't.
all elite, man. They're going more for that edgy.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna let the smoke show up. If they do, I
The
mean, hey,
smoke
shout out to.
show.
I mean, that's literally what she called herself. So,
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
like, if they go for that, then okay, cool. Shout out
Hmm.
to you guys for doing that.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing. It's just
Hmm.
almost finding a way to get more women on the show. I think is just the overall thing they have to do to help this division.
Hmm. Good point. To kind of segue away from me, like I love how a conversation about
About
Cesaro
Cesaro.
just went into, hey, how do you make the women's division in AEW better? Segueing back to WWE for a second, I had mentioned this promo to you, I think Monday night or Tuesday night when I watched it. WWE did this past Monday night on Raw the typical Edge promo where steel chair sits in it. He's talking about how I've been here a long time. No one in that room wants to challenge me. Somebody come out and challenge me. I deserve an opponent at WrestleMania. And then someone who has no business being involved with Edge wrestles him at WrestleMania. However, Soapy, there is news. This is from WrestlingNews.co, but they're getting their stuff from Ringside News. Backstage news on why Edge's WWE Raw promo was so vague. WrestleMania plans changing. So this lines up with what Ringside News reported this week about nothing being locked in for the show of shows for WrestleMania. WrestleVotes tweets, we are roughly 5 weeks out, and I'm told the WrestleMania card is still very fluid. Hence the reason for the vague Edge promo. The 2-week delay on the tag title match and the MSG title defense for Brock. Creative is leaving a ton of space in nearly every storyline to allow major flexibility. Soapy, this was basically, I just wanted to ask you, if you could have Edge fight anyone you wanted at WrestleMania, what's the perfect WrestleMania match for Edge in the year of our Lord 2022?
I don't fucking know at this point. like it's one of those weird
Mhm.
things where I love Edge. I'll always
Yeah.
love Edge. I'll always have a soft spot for him. But he feels so out of place in
Mhm.
WWE now. I don't know what it is. Where like, and now maybe it's because like he comes back and like he's had feuds and everything, like
Mhm.
not around all the time.
Yeah.
Where like I was almost gonna say like he feels like the complete opposite of Randy. Over like when Randy's involved in something, it's like okay, Randy's been here. Like let's
Mhm.
get this shit going. When Edge is involved in things, it's like okay, it's like oh, who's losing to you?
Mm-hmm.
But see, honestly, I have no
Because you're
fucking
not going to put
idea.
him up against someone for Edge to lose.
Yeah, to where it's like, okay, like who's gonna take an L at WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're already starting to build up stuff with KO and Seth, so I can't even say KO.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I just don't know who fits with Edge. It's like they try to do like the whole thing of where Edge goes after people who were similar to him, but in reality, like there's no one else on the fucking roster like him.
Yeah. Like
Like, see, I genuinely can't think of one.
I'm looking, but it's like the people I'm thinking, you're not gonna like Austin Theory would be one, but you're not gonna have Edge lose to Austin Theory, and I don't want Austin Theory to lose yet because it seems like Vince likes him, and that he's getting pushed. Like he's in the Elimination Chamber match. He's getting in these prominent roles. He's getting first off when he was called up right to the main roster after being in the way. Like I don't think you put him up against Edge to lose. I don't think that helps Austin Theory. The the other thing that pops into my mind, I don't even think it happens because I don't think he's anywhere near coming back. But I think to me the perfect opponent for Edge this WrestleMania, Johnny Gargano. First off, it'd be a huge fucking pop if he came back and it was like, oh my God, Johnny's back in WWE. But I feel like Johnny Gargano is the type of wrestler where you could put him up against Edge. He could lose and it won't hurt him. Like Johnny Gargano could lose to Edge and no one would think differently of Johnny Gargano because of how much work he'd put into the match and how good that fucking match would probably be.
Yeah, and I'm just like scrolling through people of where it's like unless you want to have him going against Damian Priest.
I thought about it, but you can't have the champ. You can't have one of your champs lose unless they're like losing the title.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Finn Balor, maybe.
Not King Woods, not Kofi. Like the other thought.
Unless you want him to go against fucking Rude.
I want to say it would be like Montez Ford would be another one, but I don't want Montez Ford to lose. However, I also don't think they're going to push Montez Ford singly, which I would love for him to get a singles push. Nothing against Street Profits, but I can't wait until the day that Montez Ford is WWE champion. Like I feel like that day will be coming to us one day or another. Can I throw out a wild curveball that probably won't happen?
Sure.
Pat McAfee. I know Edge is on Raw, but like McAfee versus Edge. I don't know how you do that though, unless you move like if you move Edge to SmackDown. Yet again, there's no rhyme or reason to do that either. It's just I'm looking at a roster going, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could possibly see
Ray.
Okay.
There's
the one guy they keep hyping up that they're gonna fucking debut, and he hasn't debuted, and it's been since like fucking October we've been seeing his yeah.
Veer
takes him on. Beat him at fucking WrestleMania since he won't shut the fuck up about him.
Unless you do like Braun Breaker gets a match on WrestleMania in a non the NXT champion gets a just regular singles match and Edge beats him, and it's kind of like that breeds into the storyline of Braun of like, oh, I'm good, I'm an NXT champion, but I've got some work to do. Like almost a humbling thing, but I don't know if that even like works well into Braun's character, because Braun Breaker's character right now is I'm the top dog in NXT, no one can take me down, kind of a thing.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Like that's just the hard part of picking someone for Edge to go against is like, is Edge gonna win it? Like that's the part that's just bothering me here.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if they have him lose, obviously you can throw him against fucking anybody to lose. whoever you want to build up.
If you're gonna have him win, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. Sami can lose with grace.
No, I'm Sami's champion though. If we're gonna use the logic that Damian Priest can't lose, Sami Zayn can't lose.
Is Sami Zayn a champion?
Hey, he's Intercontinental. Remember?
I don't remember. I thought that.
Hey, you were the one who told me.
Damn, I forgot that he was IC title. I thought it was still on Shinsuke Nakamura.
Paired with his best buddy Boogs.
Rick Boogs. No, I completely forgot that Sami was. Then that wouldn't fucking work. You're right.
Yeah.
The hell? Why did I blank on that? When did that happen? Oh, recently. That's right.
Okay, pair him with Happy Corbin.
Apparently, Corbin is going to go up against Drew McIntyre, I think it was, or something like that. Is the news for WrestleMania.
Of course we are, because I got to see fucking Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre again.
I think it was, I want to say it was Drew McIntyre. Would AJ work?
I think AJ's doing stuff with Randy.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I don't know Edge if there's a perfect opponent. And all
Ridge
the ones...
Holland.
Ridge Holland. Isn't he with, he's with Sheamus. Unless you put Edge versus Sheamus.
Probably. I don't know what fucking Sheamus is doing right now, but...
I've known, besides wearing his hat and having bar fights with people. Soapy, last thing we'll do for the show, because we are going to run past 8 a little bit. We'll move the Star Wars discussion that we're going to have to Monday, because I know that was going to go for a while. A little shorty to end the show. This is would you definitely watch, maybe watch, not going to watch? So those are your 3 options. Definite watch, maybe watch, not going to watch. What is the percent, or what is the odds you watch Corey and Carmella, a reality series for the WWE?
God.
I'm telling you,
can't
Soapy.
stand one of those people.
So here's my thoughts on it. I felt like I needed to have my opinion shown for this. The trailer I will put in the description. And the whole article I'm looking at is like, oh, the trailer for Corey and Carmella's reality series is not PG. There's stuff where they talk about sex. There's talk where they show like sex toys, and Corey Graves like, oh, you're not supposed to see that. And it's very raunchy. And Soapy, my thought is it still seems weird to me that WWE is going to put this reality series on, I'm assuming, Peacock. How did this relationship start but infidelity? Of, hey, I'm going to cheat on my wife. Like, am I wrong for years later? Like, it's years after that happened for being like, maybe this series is in poor taste after seeing this trailer.
Honestly, I don't care. I could honestly care less if Corey Graves get hit by a bus. So he can have a TV show all he wants. I really don't care.
I wonder who the one Soapy hates is.
Oh yeah, I wonder. Would it be Carmella or the guy who got fucking Marco Ronaldo to leave the company?
There's that too. Forgot shitbag human being.
Uh-huh.
So not
why I don't like him.
So not a chance Soapy watches. Not even for $1 million.
No.
Oh, I saw this and I was like,
my life was on the line and I had to watch this to live. I'd fucking rather die.
Oh my god. Is it just because of Corey, or is it because it's probably not going to be good?
A little bit of both, but mostly because of Corey.
There's no way this is good, right? Like, is this like bad good, where it's like, oh my god, I can't look away, or is this just not going to be good and they won't get a second season?
It's going to be a fucking train wreck, but it's going to be one of those things you can't look away from the train wreck.
Yeah.
Because they're going to try to be like, guys, look, we're doing the edgy stuff again. It's like, wow. I don't care.
You guys like reality TV, the Kardashians, Jersey Shore. We got our own.
Yeah, it's like, that's a damn shame. None of those shows were good.
Hey, Jersey Shore was good. You watch your whore mouth.
They all stink.
You
Every one of
watch
them
your whore
actually
mouth,
stinks.
Soapy.
Every one of them
You always gotta be beating up the beat, Soapy. You gotta beat up the beat. Go to the club, beat up the beat. That's how you're doing it. You're beating up the beat. Got a GTL, Gym Tan Laundry, Soapy. Gym Tan Laundry.
Shame that it still stinks.
The situation is here, as I showed my situation, but no one could see it because it was below camera. But thank you guys for being as great as you guys always are. This is another edition of White Men Can't Dumb, the smartest show on the internet to date. Remember, join the Discord. That link is down below in the description. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is how you can go ahead and do that. And also hit that like button, that sub button, that notification button. This has been a great episode. We'll be back. The last two things, we're going to do some movie stuff. We'll kick those to Monday. We're going to talk about a little bit of Star Wars news, a little bit of a topic I know Soapy's sad to talk about. That Soapy, apparently they're going to be making a Beyblade live action movie.
Can we fucking stop with live action?
Dude, Beyblade though. Spinny things that knock into each other.
I could
live action.
Beyblade
Let's
right
go.
now.
Let's go. But we'll talk all about that on Monday. Make sure you guys have a great weekend. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye. I just don't get a funny one this time.